What's up, guys? It's Nod back here with another video, and in today's video I'm just going to be sharing my opinions, my thoughts, and everything I feel about the situation that we have right now with Naomi and Sasha Banks and them walking out, possibly out of WWE. Now, this happened over this past week, so it all started on Raw. And there was originally supposed to be a six-pack challenge where the winner was supposed to face Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship at Hell in a Cell. And then the match got changed to just Asuka versus Becky Lynch. Now, this was addressed live on TV, and Becky Lynch did say that Sasha and Naomi walked out, which is what happened. And it was also addressed on commentary with Corey Graves saying that Sasha and Naomi unprofessionally walked out, which they did walk out. But my thing is that the statement that WWE put out before the night was over was that Sasha and Naomi said they didn't feel comfortable working with two women in the ring that they've worked with before. And the thing is that those two women were probably Nikki, ASH, and Doudrop. Now, I feel like Sasha and Naomi would never say that. I mean, why would you feel uncomfortable, and why would you say that, which that could not only hurt the match, but hurt those two women, which I feel like they would never do. So that kind of, like, had a red flag with the whole thing. When I saw that's what WWE said was what Sasha and Naomi said. But then also we hear that we haven't heard Sasha and Naomi's side of the story, but the story that people are saying is that Sasha and Naomi were originally pitched that Naomi was going to win the six-pack challenge, which we now can confirm that's what was going to happen. Naomi was going to win the six-pack challenge and face Bianca, and Sasha was going to face Ronda for the SmackDown Women's Championship, but unfortunately at Hell in a Cell they were going to lose, which would mean that the tag team champions were going to lose, and that is most likely the reason that Sasha and Naomi disagreed with that match, because why would you want your champions to lose? Why would you want your champions to lose to current champions instead of building up the tag team division? Which I feel like this is probably the truer of the two sides, because let's be honest, WWE really doesn't care about their tag team divisions going for men and women's. They certainly didn't care about the women's division these past couple champions, and the men's division is just strictly rated RK Bro and the Usos. Those are the only two tag teams that they really care for. So it wouldn't surprise me if WWE actually did this. But also that I would see that WWE does this a lot, that if a superstar or any superstar in particular does anything that they don't like, they would try to kind of portray them as the villains and portray them as the bad guys in the situation to try to just get the fans to turn on those people, to possibly, if a superstar wants to leave, that if they do, they would have a bad rep in the outside kind of indie scene of professional wrestling. So it wouldn't surprise me that WWE would kind of make this up about Sasha and Naomi. And then it was just more stuff was coming out each day. And then we got to SmackDown, which is the brand that Sasha and Naomi were on. And everybody was just waiting to see what WWE would say. And that was when the news broke and WWE officially suspended Sasha and Naomi indefinitely and stripped them of the women's tag team championships. And now it has been announced that it will be a tag team tournament sometime in the future to declare new women's tag team champions. Now, this is very interesting because a lot of people were saying that it was a work and that this was all just a part of a storyline. But I wouldn't think WWE would do all this to create a storyline, because even if it was, you're still going to have a bad rep on Naomi and Sasha. And this is such a historic win for Naomi and Sasha that why would you just have them get stripped of the titles this easily? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I feel like they want to go this into it with saying that WWE is, well, Raw is scripted and that they rehearse stuff and creative. Like, I don't think they would do all this just for a storyline. So I think this is 100% real. And also, if you're going to say you're going to make a tag team tournament, what tag teams do you have? You have Natalya and Shayna, and then Nikki and Doudrop. Are you going to put random teams together like you have been? But there's really not any tag teams. I mean, you could have kept Rhea and Liv and put them in it, and then you could have done Zelina and Carmella, but those two teams are broken up. I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to call up new teams? Like, it's just... Either way, Sasha and Naomi, I feel like, are going to get their way. Because let's say they do walk out and leave. They're going to get their way by knowing that they stood up for what they believed in and fighting for the women's tag team division. And even if the women's tag team division now gets amazing storylines, they still fought for that. And they still are now going to have storylines for the women's tag team division, which was what Naomi and Sasha really left for, was because they didn't think the tag team titles were respected. Now, that is just all the news that happened, and now it's time for me to share my opinion. Personally, I don't think Naomi and Sasha did the wrong thing. I completely stand with them, and I completely agree with their decision. Now, is it the best thing to walk out? No. But was that the right way to do it? I feel like yes. I mean, they could have had the six-pack challenge and just went out there and they could have walked out on national television. That would have even been worse for the situation because it would have been horrible for WWE and it would have been horrible for the women in the match. But no, they did it. And WWE they didn't even have to address it. They could have just left it privately and just... people would have found out on their own, but they addressed it on live television, which means that they want to get back to Sasha and Naomi. And then we have the fans bashing Sasha and Naomi for what they did, which, I mean, the fans are right to their opinion, but some of their opinions are kind of saying that they're unprofessional, which you wouldn't think they were unprofessional if WWE didn't say it. I think the WWE, the way they did stuff and the way they portrayed it, like taking Sasha and Naomi completely off of the WWE shop, taking their titles away, it seems like they're trying to erase them from the history books. Not the history books, but they're trying to erase them from the WWE product right now, which is sad to see because those two women have been through a lot of historic moments, not only for the women, but for the WWE in general. So it's very interesting to see how things can change really quick because even with Brock Lesnar throwing the title at Vince McMahon and the whole thing with Charlotte and Becky last year, it was crazy to see that none of that stuff even made weight and it was either turned into a storyline or just completely forgotten about. So it's weird to see how WWE kind of took control of this situation and how they portrayed the situation on their TV. But that was just my opinion for you guys. Hopefully you guys just enjoyed, and hopefully you guys enjoyed my opinions. Leave your opinions down in the comment section below on how you feel about this situation with Sasha and Naomi. Do you think they will come back, or do you think Sasha and Naomi will be done with WWE forever? But like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, champs.